All right. Good morning, ladies. Happy Mindset Monday. Sunny is here with me today. You guys, I am so excited to introduce you to Sunny Hoppy. She is one of the most amazing women I have ever met. We met and it was like love at first sight. So she works at, well, she has her own business, and I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about that. But Sunny is a fitness coach, a mindset coach, and a nutrition coach. And she just does amazing things when it comes to all three of these things. And she just encompasses um, the idea of health and how what that has to do with mindset and what that means and all things habits. She's just one of a kind for sure, just like all of you are too. So, welcome, Sunny. I'm so glad you're here with me today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So, I was hoping that we could just start off by telling us a little bit about you and what you do, rather than me just rambling on about how amazing you are with little ideas of what you do. Tell us about you. Tell us what you do.
Yeah, I mean, you can ramble on as much as you want. I love hearing how amazing I am. Just kidding.
Oh, you are
Yeah,
so amazing.
my coach is working on with me, right? Because every coach needs a coach. My coach with me is working on accepting compliments
Mm,
because I get a compliment and I'm like, no, 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 you're amazing, Amber. And she's like, how about you just say thank you? So thank you for that introduction.
you are
Yeah,
welcome.
I'm super happy to be here. I think the first time we met was out of the place that we rent space together. And I remember seeing you and being like, that is a human that I need to know because our energies just match.
Yeah.
And then just getting to know each other even on a deeper level, like even though what we do are very different, our approaches can be very similar with leading with mindset and really like listening and understanding who the person is and then working with them within like what their realm is to help them make change.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, and I'll get into what, the details of me, but I feel like there's a preponderance of coaches out there that they put their methods onto the person and say, you're going to go into my 8-step process. You're going to go into my, 10-step process, and expects the person to change into the process versus looking at the person's goal and changing the process to fit with the person, right?
Yeah,
Because
beautiful.
change is really hard. So
Yes, it is.
why would we take a hard process and hard change and try to cram them into one being versus, right?
Yes, why would we do that?
Change is hard enough. We don't want to change. Yeah. So anyway, so backing up a second. So yes, Amber, you are correct. Everyone's like, what do I call you? And I'm like, I don't know. Do you want to call me like a health coach or a deep health coach? But what I do goes a lot deeper than that. So I'm multi-certified, personal trainer, fitness coach, nutrition coach, habit and mindset coach. And what that basically does is it allows me to look at the human from a holistic total body approach. So I started in fitness and was like, man, like the 1 hour, the 2 hours a day that I have with these people isn't enough to really help make a profound impact on their life and on their goals. And my background is in psychology and coaching. And I was like, gosh, I should combine all of this to really give a total human approach to working with all my clients. So, what I do is I specialize in working with typically professionals that are always on the go and they've basically let their health slip throughout the years. And they might look back and say like, wow, I'm running a thriving business, but then I get this like, what is this, Sunny? Or like they grab their belly and they're like, what is this? I've never had a belly before. Or like, I get home from work and I just fall on the couch. I'm so exhausted, I can't play with my kids. Or, I want to be able to play with my kids and work out and lead a thriving business. So that's really where I come in. Because my background, I was an ad exec for 18 years. I was on the path to chronic stress, chronic fatigue, and giving myself a heart attack. And realized how important not just exercise is, but how important I talk about we work through what our body does, what we feed our bodies, and what we surround our bodies with. And
Mhm.
that's totally true. It's like we have to move, we have to nourish ourselves appropriately to achieve our goals, but then we also have to look at what our surroundings look like. And that's really where I come in.
Oh my gosh, that is just why I love you so much. Like you said, we do very, very different or very, very similar things, but in a different way, which is all about holistic health. So why do you think I get the same things, that you're hearing? I hear the same things, and our bodies are changing all of the time, but yet like we have these habits and they're not always good of this like go go go. You wake up, you get your coffee, you may not eat, you may eat on the go, you rush to the like one thing to the next. So we have these habits that are not ideal, and I'm curious, why do you think it is so hard to change when people want the change? They desire
Mhm.
change, they desire to have different habits. Why is it so hard to do that?
God, if I could answer that succinctly, I would be a bajillionaire.
I know.
What I talk with my clients about, it's a few things. I think first off, we look at brain chemistry. And our primitive brain is designed to avoid pain and seek pleasure.
Yeah.
And as we've evolved throughout the years, we still have this primitive brain, but we live in a very evolved world. So now avoiding pain becomes avoiding change because, as we said in the beginning, change is hard.
Mhm.
So anytime that there's something that is in front of us that we've never done before, or we have to, start eating foods differently, like eating different foods, or making the decision to go to the gym, that's a change. And our brain is like, no, 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 like change is pain. I'm going to avoid pain and seek pleasure.
Mhm.
So I think like what it boils down to is like we have habits, and our habits are automated. Our habits are things that we don't think about. So we have all of these maybe bad habits, maybe neutral habits, maybe good habits that we just automatically do throughout the day. And in order to change something in our life, we have to change something that is very automated.
Mm.
Like pure and simple, the other day, I went to go teach a class. I was driving down the road. I was like, there's construction on the other road. Make a note, Sunnee, don't forget, do not turn right. Go straight, you won't hit the construction. I teach my class, I get in my car, I'm like, don't turn right, don't turn right. I go on autopilot, all of a sudden, I turn right. And I was like, fuck. I was, and we just, I think it's just, we are just so automated. Our brain is so effing smart that
Yeah.
like we try not to think about a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's
when we
just
change, we have to
hardwired.
think about a lot of stuff.
Right. Right. I love that. I think that's a perfect answer. It's really our biology and our how we're hardwired. So I initially asked you to come on and share this with my group because when you were telling me about your upcoming masterclass, I thought when you were describing it, I was like, people need to know about this. And it's amazing. So I was hoping that not only, if you could take a few minutes to talk about your program, but also like what made you think of doing something like this? Why did you put this together?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as I said before, every coach needs a coach. So my coach, as I was setting my intentions for 2022, my intentions are wealth and ease. And by wealth, yes, it hits financial wealth, but it also hits putting value and putting things out, putting abundance out into the world to create as much value as possible. So that's what my mission has been for
I love that a lot.
2022. And I've done things around like giving away quizzes and opt-ins and a week of workouts and all of that. And then, I really thought like, I have clients that work with me on a one-on-one basis, and that's great. But there are some people that want to get a taste of what it would be like to work with me, or some people that might, quite frankly, not need deep work on a one-on-one basis. So that's where I started looking at well, I should develop a masterclass. And I should develop a masterclass where like I fully believe that I was put on this earth to help people become the greatest versions of themselves.
Mhm.
And I think it's Jim Quick that says like education without application is the same as being illiterate and non-educated, right?
Mhm.
So I have 18 certifications, something like that. And I'm like, what good is all of my education without me just giving it away?
Mhm.
Like, just let's just give it away. So over the course of these 4 weeks, I'm basically going to teach everyone in my master class. I'm going to put myself out of a job. That's my goal, is to teach everybody.
That's your
it's
goal.
it is my goal. It's to teach everybody everything that I've learned over 18 years of doing this, over 15 certifications. So that way they go, because what I'm finding is people are really confused about
Yeah.
how to achieve their goals. There is a lot of information out there that is designed to be like, okay, well, first you have to like, you can only shop from natural grocers, and then you have to weigh all your food, and then you have to clean up but not too much, and like this industry that we're in is designed off of complexity, and it creates a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
And my purpose is to create clarity and confidence out of confusion. So the whole purpose of this 4-week health and fitness masterclass is about going from confused on how to achieve your goals to very clear on how to achieve your goals. And the way that we do that is I'm going to teach everyone how to write their own health, fitness, and wellness plan. So it's a very practical masterclass where I basically teach a concept, and then they put pen to paper and they start writing their plan out. And then by week 2, if your goal is to lose weight, you're going to have every step over the next 4 to 6 months on what you need to do on a daily basis to like hit your weight loss goal. Like I have someone in the class that doesn't have a weight loss goal. She actually wants to add muscle. So her plan is going to look way different than
Mhm.
someone who has a weight loss plan, right?
Yeah.
Someone that has a weight loss plan that's experiencing something you're familiar with, hormonal weight gain,
Yeah.
their plan is going to look way different than a 22-year-old who wants to lose weight that maybe isn't experiencing hormonal weight gain, right? So the whole point is we have one group one-on-one a week where I teach a technique and then I coach on the technique. So you get one-on-one coaching with me, and then they execute on the technique throughout the week to make their plan. By week 2, they have their plan. And then we start to litmus test it, right? Because plans are amazing. Failing to plan is planning to fail. But we also need to test our plans and to say, appearance of what happens if I get COVID? What happens if I have to go on a work trip? What happens if my kids get the stomach flu? So we set up all of these contingencies,
Mhm.
like if then contingencies. So if I have to work for 12 hours tomorrow because I'm a lawyer, then here's how my plan will shift.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's basically like it's just this personalized plan tailored to achieve their health goals.
That sounds amazing. So,
I know,
like,
you
who
can tell
doesn't
I'm
want that?
excited.
I know, I'm excited. I am
When I get
excited.
excited, I talk a lot and I over
So,
explain.
it sounds like it's very personalized.
Yes.
You have a plan and know how to execute it for weight loss or whatever your other health goals are. And you also have a plan of like just in case kind of stuff. So even more personalized so that there's really no getting out of making your goals happen, which
Yeah.
is so important. I love that so much. So,
Yeah.
how do people, for those who are interested in doing this 4-week masterclass, how do they contact you? How do they sign up? What's the best way?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think, the first thing, yeah, it's a 4-week masterclass. It's starting the week of the 25th, which is a week from today. So
Woo!
definitely, if you want in, you got to sign up because I'm limiting space because I want people to be able to experience one-on-one coaching. So
Mhm.
you're not going to be one of 20 faces on the Zoom. You're going to be one of maybe four to six faces. So that's the other big thing. I'm part of your group. So I think we could do a few things. One, they could just reply to this thread
Okay.
that set and say, I'm in, and I'll reach out to them. The
Okay.
other way is they just email me, which we can put this in the thread, Coach Sunnee at gmail.com. So that's Coach Sunnee at gmail.com. Yeah, the first time, so this is the first time I'm running this masterclass. The investment is $797. And yeah, and then basically it's not, I'm going to run it a few times a year, but this is going to be the first time that I'm guaranteeing it at this price.
Amazing. I think 797 is quite the value for life-changing habits and creating and sticking to maintaining goals and just
Yeah.
making the complex simple. I know that that's what you excel at. So awesome. Okay, so just to recap, first of all, Sunnee is a ray of sunshine, amazing to work with. And her program is a 4-week masterclass starting April 25th, which is next week. And she's only taking a handful of people. So if you're interested, sign up now. And you can do that by just replying in this thread or emailing coachsunnee@gmail.com. And all right, love, thank you so much for sharing all of this wonderful stuff and doing this program. It's so amazing. So, is there anything else that we should know about it, about you, about that? Is that
Yeah,
something?
I mean the program, there's a lot more that I've packed in there. Like people are going to get workouts and recipes and all of that. But I think the biggest thing, it goes back to what we talked about in the very beginning. And it's just putting a nod to the fact that like goals are incredible, right? Like we wouldn't have goals without the capability of achieving them, right? Let's say that again. We wouldn't have a goal without the capability of achieving them, because the same brain and the same body that achieves the goal is the one that dreamed it up in the first place. And I think that's a really powerful thing to remember.
Yeah.
And just because we've failed in the past, as long as we learn something from it, it's never a failure. Just because you've tried to lose weight in the past and didn't quite get there, or tried to consistently work out and didn't quite get there, my friends, we are not dictated by our past, right? We have these amazing abilities to learn and to like get feedback from everything, and it's going to make us stronger. And then when you achieve that goal in the future, it's going to make it that much sweeter. Like if everyone's like, God, if I could just snap my fingers and lose 50 pounds, but then it's like, but then you wouldn't understand what it takes to do it, and you wouldn't become this strong, resilient, amazing being. And I think when we get into the thick of like, God, like it is so hard, just remember that like what comes out on the other end is so much sweeter and better because you put the work in. And
Mm.
like, I think that's just a really good message for people to remember.
Wow, amazing. So, Sunny, I think you already did this because I'll tell you, I always put whoever I bring on, I put them on the spot when I end and I ask them. So, you're welcome to give another little pep talk if you want, but I always ask people when I'm ending, if you had 30 seconds to broadcast a message to the world, what would it be?
That I just anticipated. You're like, anything else? I'm like, yes, this is a
You
very
did.
important message. I would say that is the most important message. The second most important message is that like it doesn't have to be complex. It really doesn't. And that's really what I teach is we talk about like we have these habits that make up our day, and they're seemingly minuscule habits. And if you change one habit, it can have this amazing ripple effect across your entire life. And it doesn't have like weight loss, it doesn't have to be complex. It just doesn't. We don't have to do 2-a-days at the gym. We don't, you know what the best form of exercise is? Walking.
Mhm.
You know, the best way to have a nutritious like meal plan that fuels your body. It's the best advice I've ever read. I can't remember who said it, but he says, um, eat mostly plant-based foods,
Mm.
not too much.
Michael Pollan.
Thank you. Yeah,
Love that.
I bastardized the quote a little bit, but he says like eat food, not too much, mostly plant-based.
Yes. Yep. Beautiful.
It's brilliant. You want to lose weight? Stop eating when you're 80% full.
Yeah.
You want to get fitter? Work out every day. Like it's very simple.
You're gonna give it all away now if we don't stop you. Ladies,
I
oh
know.
my
Sorry.
gosh, can you just see how much how much Sunnee has to say? I mean, even this is super valuable. And if you just did a couple of the like 5, 10 things she has talked about in the last 20 minutes, I mean, your life could change. It's actually about the doing, and that's what Sunny's going to help you with in this masterclass is how to execute it and how to maintain that. So, thank you so much, love, for coming on. I hope you
Thank
all have a
you.
wonderful rest of your Monday. Keep a mindful mindset, and we will see you all very soon.